Hello everyone, I'm Ffxiv, and in this video we're going to talk about PvP, MMOs, and the effect that they have on each other, and specifically focusing on Final Fantasy XIV, because there's a lot of talk in the community about PvP and wanting changes and just adding things to PvP that I think are both good ideas and bad ideas. So first off, what people want and what is actually possible in games are usually two different things. Now, with that being said, the first thing that people generally ask for in Final Fantasy XIV, at least that I have heard, is more game modes. And I think that is the most feasible thing for Square to implement within Final Fantasy, as far as from a game design perspective, without harming the community or making changes to the game that are just on just default bad. So game modes would be a good thing because you could add modes specifically like King of the Hill. I don't know if that exists actually. I haven't done a whole lot of PvP within Final Fantasy, but I do know that one of the modes that people are asking for specifically is capture the flag. They think it's weird that in a game today that we don't have the classic PvP mode of capture the flag. And honestly, yeah, it's a little weird. And I do think that it would be something good for the game to have more game modes, because more game modes just keeps PvP more interesting longer and increases the time to burn out. So basically, you can play more PvP, have more fun with it for a longer period of time, and that's just on the face a good thing. Now, the second thing that people have asked for to incentivize people specifically to play more PvP, and they ask for this because in PvP in Final Fantasy, people just PvP for the rewards and then they stop. So the queue times for PvP are very long. And this is a problem, but I don't think adding rewards, as they have asked for, is the solution. So generally, from what I understand from hearing other players, is that when a new reward or what system comes out for PvP, people play it for a couple of weeks, get their rewards, and then they don't go back. Now, that is a problem with the system not being fun, not the fact that there aren't enough rewards. So you can't keep giving people rewards on a consistent basis to keep them PvPing on a consistent basis if that's something that you're after. Because it creates a situation where you get reward bloat, and when you have too many rewards, it can feel overwhelming for new players because they don't know where to start, and it can uh, devalue old rewards and even new rewards when you have too many. And the best example of that I can think of is in World of Warcraft. You have a system where, or not a system, but you have so many mounts and so many titles that in World of Warcraft, I personally don't care when I see somebody with a new title anymore. I don't care when I see somebody with a new mount anymore, because there's I think roughly 1,000 mounts, or coming somewhere near 1,000 mounts in World of Warcraft. I mean, am I supposed to care when you get a purple skin of that horse now, or a green skin or whatever? Like, I don't care anymore because most of the mounts don't mean anything, and the ones that do, like, everybody gets them anyways because they just buy them from raiding or whatever, wherever they came from. They buy a carry for arena. Like, it feels like there's an overwhelming amount of mounts and titles. Even the difficult ones to get aren't difficult enough or rare enough for me to care. So, yeah, with rewards as an incentive for PvP, you end up with a system that will, create bloat and remove the meaning from the rewards. Rewards need to be not few and far between, but uh, scarce enough and difficult enough to obtain to where they mean something. And when you see somebody with that reward, you know what they did to get it, and you're like, that dude's a badass, or she's sick. Like, I can't believe she got that title. I can't believe he got that mount, whatever. Like, that is a really cool feeling, especially when you're the person with that title or with that mount. So another thing that I've heard people ask for, and this is a dangerous one, is PV is ranked PvP. And You're probably wondering, well, why is that dangerous? And it's dangerous from a game design perspective, in that it creates a system where the players will ruin the game for themselves, because they will if you give players the option, they will min max the fun out of everything. And that goes for PvPers over any other kind of gamer. They will min max the fun out of the game. So people who PvP min max more than any other kind of player in existence. And I say that because in PvE, it doesn't matter as much as long as everybody's kind of doing similar damage, and the tanks can hold aggro and the healers can do the healing. Like the actual, like, unless you're on the super high end, and when I say super high end, I mean like maybe top 5 guilds in the world in World of Warcraft, or even in Final Fantasy 14, maybe the top 5 statics in the world. Uh, Unless you're in one of those groups, these don't generally matter to you as much. And if they do, that's, I mean, whatever. I'm getting off topic here. PvPers require more min maxing than any other version of the game, especially when it's ranked, because in ranked PvP, uh, the how do I put this? In ranked PvP, the differences between the classes are accentuated, and because of that, if you're not if you're paying too much attention to it, it looks like the game is so unbalanced and it's broken and it's not fun and all of these things. So from a PvPer's perspective, you need the game to be more balanced so that it's more fun and you can enjoy the game. But in doing so, it affects all other aspects of the game. And that's not necessarily a good thing, because then you end up with homogenization. Everybody has a Mortal Strike, everybody has a stun, everybody has a get out of jail free card, everybody has their life saving heal. Like, everybody has those buttons. And when everybody has the same buttons, just different names for it on their class, and maybe it functions slightly differently, it's not exactly fun anymore, because you end up with a system that everybody has everything. And uh, when it comes down to it, that's not a good system, because it hurts the rest of the game. And then a lot of people, especially PvPers, will say, well, just make PvP separate from the rest of the game. Make it like its own game mode. Change, tune it differently from the rest of the game. And that's even less fun, because then it takes the work that you do from the rest of the game and minimizes that in PvP. And the best example we have of that, again, is in World of Warcraft, because they've already done it. They tried it in Legion, and it ended up being one of the biggest failures as far as removing fun from PvP. People just did not enjoy what was going on in Legion, because they made it so that no matter what gear you had, you were within a certain percentage of the people that had the highest level gear within the game. And that's not a good thing, because then you end up, with a situation where whatever you do out of PvP doesn't matter all that much. Even in PvP, for example, it doesn't matter all that much, because say you farm all your rewards, you farm out the highest level PvP gear. It's the best in slot PvP gear that you can get, but you're only 5% better than the person who hasn't ever PvP'd before. It doesn't feel good. I mean, you're still better. You're higher. You have way more skill. You're definitely gonna beat this person every time in a 1v1. Uh, but it doesn't feel good, because you want to one shot that person, right? Like, you did all this work. You want to feel the rewards, or uh, yeah, you want to feel the rewards from your hard work. And when you have a system that minimizes that within PvP to balance it separately from the rest of the game, it kind of removes all of that from the game, or from PvP. So you have to be really careful when implementing things in ranked PvP. I think it could work within Final Fantasy 14, but it's just not. You have to be really careful with it. So yeah, with all that being said, before I continue rambling on and not making any sense, I'm going to cut the video here. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one.